Love in America is brought to you by Gold and Diamond Source.
Gems with M helps showcase December's 4 accepted birthstones.
Zircon, tanzanite, turquoise, and blue topaz, which is also the 4th anniversary stone.
Birthstones and colored gemstones make wonderful gifts for anyone on your list. Only at the Gold and Diamond Source.
True love stories never have endings.
He had me.
But they all have a beginning.
The day that I met her, I knew that she could be.
Passionate couples share their adventures in finding true love.
That was the mission.
Here on Love in America with Sarina Fazan.
Hi everyone, I am Sarina Fazan and welcome to Love in America, a show delving into what it truly takes behind a successful partnership and what it takes to make a romance stand the test of time. Well, speaking of time, so many nowadays say the way to meet someone is online. But hey, what about, dare we say, the old-fashioned way, organically? Well, that's exactly how our special couple met. Welcome to the studio, Max and Jasmine Herman. And look, you guys are holding hands. It's adorable. Wow. It is so cute.
Solidarity.
Oh my gosh, solidarity. Look at that. All right, so you guys have been married for 3 years. 3 years in November, actually. Yeah. 3 years in November.
November 16th.
But Max, from what I understand, you knew the moment you met Jasmine. Do tell.
Well, can you blame me? I saw her. We have mutual friends. And,
gorgeous.
I decided I have to take a shot at this woman. She seems like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I asked her out. She said no, which I liked because it meant she's smart. And then I asked her again, and she was reluctant. And then finally, we decided to meet for a glass of wine. And what made you go do the last one?
Well, when we met up, I was, okay, I haven't been on a date in a very long time. And I'm like, okay, I don't want nothing to do with anybody. You know, just kind of doing my own thing. And
how old were you at the time?
Oh, I was, what, 20?
29?
29?
No, yeah, 28.
Yeah, 20, 28.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was talking to my best friend, and she was telling me, oh, you should go on a date, you know, put yourself out there. And I'm like, I really don't want to do that. I'm like, there's this guy, though, that I know through a mutual friend that, you know, does want to take me out. And she's like, just go. She's like, it's not like you're going to get married to the guy.
Oh my gosh. So, little did she know.
I know. So I'm like, you know what, you're absolutely right. You know, so the third time when he reached out to me, I said, you know what, let's go. Let's do this. You know, let's go on a date.
Well, that glass of wine turned into a bottle.
Oh.
And, by the time it was over, which, by the way, she brought her mom.
No way.
On the date.
You brought your.
I did. I brought my mom.
Well, mom waited in the car, and I didn't know this, and like, you know, the bottle of wine was gone, and I was like, you know.
Well, even though we had mutual friends, you still don't know who someone is on the internet.
Right.
So, you know, I was talking to my mom about it because that's what I do, Hispanic, you know, family. And she's like, you know, let me just go with you to make sure this guy isn't a creep or something. And I'm like, well, I know, you know, I know of him. We have friends. And she's like, just to be sure, just to be sure. So we were staking out, and every time someone walked by, she's like, oh my God, is that him? Is that him? Anybody could be. I go, I know what he looks like.
As a mom myself, and I know you guys are parents where we're going to say, I love this. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, well,
I'm like, this guy's going to think I'm insane.
So when did you, Max, find out that Jasmine's mom was like there? Like, she didn't come inside with you guys, right?
No. So naturally, when the bottle of wine is gone, I'm like, well, what do I do next? What's my next move? I'm like, well, should we go somewhere next? She goes, well, actually, my mom's in the car. And that's when I froze like that. I go, did I hear you right? Your mom's in the car? So I went out and I met her mom on the very first date.
On the very first date.
You said, can I please meet her?
That's true.
He did, because I'm like, you know what, I'm going to get going, because I didn't know where this was going. So in a way, my mom was kind of like a scapegoat. I'm like, oh, I got to go, you know. Yeah.
So, you know, and one thing I have to say that I want to point out at the very beginning when Max said, because you're adorable when you said, well, she was right to turn me down on the first date. Come on, confidence.
Well, you know, it's not like I was, you know, expecting like, oh, well, she turned me down and that makes sense. You know, I'm not her type. No, I was just like, well, that just means that she's very picky. And I like that. I don't want, you know, if I'm going to have a person I want to call my wife one day, of course, a little bit of a challenge is a good thing. And doesn't matter, though, because by the time I met her mom and everything, I was in love with her, and I knew I was going to marry her.
You did? Okay, so let me ask you. Okay, let's go back to this. The restaurant wasn't in Tampa because, you know, we're very fortunate that we have viewers, you know, all over now. So what was the restaurant in Tampa?
Bella's on South Howard.
Bella's on South Howard, yes.
Sure
Okay,
you're familiar with
yes,
it?
very familiar. Okay, so how long did it take to drink the bottle of wine? Or like how long, do you remember?
I don't know if it was 5 minutes or 50.
Well,
all I know is
before he got there, I had 2 glasses. You did? Because I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what I'm doing here. I called my best friend again for like reassurance. I'm like, are you sure I'm doing the right thing by being here?
Funny enough, she doesn't really drink very much.
I don't.
Like, I mean, when we go out, she might have a little bit of wine or something like that. On the first day, I was like, this girl's a lush. She drinks like so much. Like she finished half a bottle of wine.
So let me ask though, as a guy,
Yeah.
did that, but clearly that did not turn you off at all because, you know, he fell in love with you.
I was smitten with her regardless. And obviously I was like, well, she was nervous, stuff like that. But it just seemed like something, I mean, I didn't know if I was going to marry her, but I was like, I have to try my best to be the best guy I can be and make her fall in love with me.
Aw, so Jasmine, when you saw him and you spent time with Max, how soon did you fall?
Well, I was on the phone with my best friend when he walked in, and I'm like, oh my God, I think he's here. So I told her, I said, I'll call you back. I'll let you know how it goes. But before that, in my head, I was like, you know, talking myself up. I'm like, who does this guy think he is? You know, like the third time he keeps bothering me, and you know, so I turn around and I see him, and then he smiles at me, and at that moment, I knew I was done.
Really? So,
at that moment, when he smiled at me, I'm like, I'm in trouble. That was the first thing that popped in my head was, I am in so much trouble.
So when you say trouble, though, you didn't know it was marriage. You knew it was definitely,
I knew it would go in that direction. Like, when I saw him, I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
You know, I guess I have a decent smile, enough to draw you in. But we had a few other dates after that. And
it was just the chemistry. You know,
we had great
get a
chemistry.
feeling, you know, when...
So did you, okay, yes. So you meet Jasmine's mom, though, because this is just so cute that your mom is sitting in the, what is your mom doing in the parking lot? Like reading a magazine, texting, or what is she doing?
She's probably trying to make sure he's not going to drag me out in a carpet because, you know how mothers think, you know, you being a mother.
Yes, and you also being a mother, beautiful little Sophia.
And at the time, like, I wasn't a mother, so I didn't really understand. Now I do more than ever, but now I get it. I think I would do that to my daughter if the situation had presented itself.
Well, if I may, to get back to that, it was like the first couple weeks, I really knew this was something different because I had, you know, we've been on dates with people before. You go to dinner, you go dancing, you do something like that, but it was the person I could like look at her and go, you want to just walk around? And it was, you know, I lived in South Howard at the time, and I said, there's a lot of really old, cool houses, and you can tell she's a very, you know, unique person. The way of her style is very kind of old school. She's like, I'd love to see some old houses. We would walk around and do nothing for the whole day, and it didn't matter. And then eventually we were like, we should probably eat something because we had so much fun laughing and telling jokes and walking around the neighborhood. I mean, we were in love right away.
Right away. So you guys were clearly like, the friendship was also there,
that was
right?
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
The friendship was there. So how long after that first date did you propose?
What was it, like 20 minutes? No. It was, our first date was in July, and I proposed to her on New Year's Eve.
Wow, that was fast.
Yes. So, well, like I said, I knew. And I had a really good friend of mine who was having a house party. It was actually a rooftop party, and she had fireworks set up and everything. And I go, I don't want to take anything away from your theatrics, but I think I might propose to my girlfriend at your party. And she was like, we're going to make it all about that then. So she kind of set it up so the DJ would make the announcement at midnight that I had something to say, and then I got on one knee and shaking like this the whole time, I grabbed the ring, and there it is on her finger.
Oh, and beautiful. Okay, Jasmine, were you expecting that night?
Oh, no, I wasn't expecting that at all.
I told you when you met me I was going to be full of surprises.
Well, no, it was funny because when, like, our first, I think it was like our third date.
Uh-huh.
We're walking around the neighborhood. And he's like, you know, my father lives right down there. We should, you know, go visit him and tell him that we're going to get married in the fall.
Yeah.
So,
You're kidding.
And I just couldn't stop laughing.
That's a joke, yeah.
So,
yeah, I brought her over there.
so like, leading up to that time, when we got to the party, I could tell that something was off about him because
I was freaking out. Well, I had a ring in my pocket.
and
the
there,
whole
I
time.
was meeting a few of his friends for the first time. So my whole thing was like, oh my goodness, you know, I'm going to meet his friends. He probably feels some type of way about this. So the whole time he's nervous, I'm nervous. But it's like for the completely wrong reasons.
Yeah, I think that you said you thought I was nervous because I was like, oh, they're not going to like her.
Or something.
Yeah.
You know, you never know.
Crazy? My friends are going to love you.
The thing is, like, when
What's
you're,
not to love?
when,
What's not to love?
when you're in the moment, it's like, you know, that's the, you know, you just think the worst sometimes. So I'm like, okay, I got to make a good impression. You know, I keep telling him everything's going to be okay. So we took a lift there, and the driver.
Oh, I forgot about
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
The driver, he goes, me and him, we kept, you know, bouncing off of each other. And the driver goes, how long have you guys been married? And I just start laughing. And I'm like,
And I think I turned pale white, and my eyes went like this.
I said, we're not married. I go, we're just dating. And then he goes, not yet. And then I start laughing because he's
You're
always
kidding.
making comments like that.
Yeah.
So
That's
I didn't think
so
much
sweet.
of it. Yeah.
Well, so we've heard from you guys a lot about walking, and there's a very serious significance with that. And Beauty, look at those amazing eyes.
you.
So there's so much more to talk to the Hermans about in our next segment.
All right.
Some spicy stuff.
Thinking about getting engaged, planning to upgrade your wedding ring, or finally getting that Rolex?
The Golden Diamond Source can help you in many ways.
You can start a layaway plan for only 10% down and 6 monthly payments.
Take advantage of our 3 to 5 year interest-free financing.
Or you can trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase.
Come to the Golden Diamond Source and find that perfect gift for the ones that you love.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarina Fazan, and welcome to Love in America. We are talking to Max and Jasmine Herman, who Max said on the very first night where you brought your mom on your first date that you knew you were going to propose.
I know. Well,
Yes.
I'm sure that sounds kind of cliche, but it's true. And I'm not a romantic guy like that, you know, really. I didn't really ever see myself getting married or anything like that. But when you know, you know. That's all I go.
That's what they say. They say that guys know. So speaking of guys knowing, and we talked about you, like you knew it was very special. Did you both know, and I have to say, striking. Yes, your wife is striking. Those eyes are like blue with, you know. So you worked for Victoria's Secret.
Yeah. For a long time. So.
It's another reason why I want to marry.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
Well, you know, you can have as much chemistry as you want with friendship, but you gotta have a little passion too.
You do have to have passion, right? The physical attraction needs to be there, but you're also, and you're a nurse as well.
Oh, yes.
So thank you so much for, you know,
Thank you.
all
of
you guys
course.
do, especially through COVID. I bring that up because the two of you have a beautiful little girl,
Yeah.
but born,
September of 2020.
so
Right in the heart of it.
right in the heart of it.
I was the only person allowed in the room. We had to wear the mask. You imagine doing contractions with a mask on? I don't know how hard that was. But
it was difficult with, you know, he couldn't come into any appointments.
the whole, you know, there was no, what's the class, Lamaze or anything that, you know, we weren't allowed to do any of that. So it was very like,
Everything was
it
shut
was
down
a
at
distant
that point.
pregnancy. Like I would drop her off and I'd wait in the parking lot and then I go, so everything okay?
Gosh, that had to have been, gosh, and the, you know, the love of your life, you know, bringing into the world another love of your life.
Yes.
I bring up the baby though too, because we talked about the walking, and Max, you have a walking tour company
I do.
in the city of Tampa. Tell us a little bit about it, because I want to talk about the partnership
Oh,
that you
well,
guys have.
it's easy to do when you have somebody like her, because she's definitely a supportive person. And owning a tour company makes it so that if somebody wants to do a tour, maybe the next day, honey, do you mind if I go do this? Yeah, go ahead. You know, like, so it's really easy when you have a supportive partner. But I've been running the company for a while now, and it's one of the top tours in Tampa, not just in Tampa, in Florida. And well, what can I say? It's definitely a dream job to have, to tell people all about, you know, Tampa's history, Ybor City, St. Petersburg, anything on the map that I can reach out to. I love to present it in a way that people will want to learn more about this town.
And I love that. And I know we've talked about your tours before, and I bring it up because we talked about how you guys also kind of met the old-fashioned way, dare we say, organically. But nowadays, a lot of times there's two incomes in families.
Yes.
But you guys made the decision for Jasmine, for you to stay home and take care of Sophia. And I know, Max, you're working, you know, to your company and other
freelance
jobs.
as well. I do freelance production too.
So tell us about that decision and how are your friends reacting to that decision nowadays?
Well, it was something that had to come organic, just like our relationship, because she loves working in the hospital all the time, and she's got a very, you know, caring, natural state. So after a while, you know, I would take the baby so she could do her long nursing shifts and stuff, and then I would have to go drop her off so I could go do my tours, and it kind of started becoming like we don't really see each other as much as we used to because we're always working. Plus the baby needed a little bit more support as well. Well, eventually I kind of didn't want to say anything, but I just kind of calmly kept it going until she goes, you know, maybe it'd be a good idea if I rolled back my time at the hospital. And I kind of looked at her like, I've been waiting for you to say that for a little while.
Wow.
It happened organically just as she had no idea that I felt that way. I had no idea that she felt that way. And then eventually we just decided, well, let's just give it a couple more weeks, see how we're doing, see if you can take the hours down a bit. And well, eventually she was like, you know what, I just miss my daughter too much.
And I know that the tours are his passion. Really, it's something that it's engraved in him.
Yeah.
He loves history so much, and you know, he is an entertainer. He's
Yes, and he loves to do it. And I know, like, you know, sometimes when that baby's born, right, that it's just like your instinct. But Jasmine, did you take, and I don't want to say take some heat or anything like that, but when you made the decision to stay home, were people like, what are you doing? You know, you have this amazing career, you work at Victoria's Secret, then you work in a hospital, and, you know, you want to stay home.
The thing was, I was a little hard on myself because I know staying at home mom, it's just, you know, it has kind of a stigma to it. But my best friend, it's crazy because we were pregnant at around the same time. So our daughters are very close in age, and she does work. And she was telling me if she had the opportunity to stay home with her daughter, she would have definitely taken advantage of it. So I definitely, I got a lot of support from my family and from my friends about it.
It's interesting, though, that so my mom was a stay-at-home mom. My gosh, selfless, I think, to be a stay-at-home mom. But it's interesting that you brought up the word stigma because, Max, did you hesitate asking even Jasmine to do that because you were worried about that?
I didn't want to ask because I knew that she, well, just as much as I'm passionate about what I do, she loves what she does. So it would have been, you know, literally asking her to drop her life to just, you know, focus on this. And now she does a great job with it. I mean, literally, our daughter is one of the best taken care of kids I've ever seen in my life. Like, growing up, I never had the attention that my beautiful wife gives to our daughter. And she's also a great, you know, homemaker and all that, but it's because she could be good at anything. She could be good at anything. She's a great mom. She was a great nurse. And she can go back to that as soon as Sophia gets a little older. But I was like on the edge of my seat going like, I wish I could say something, but I knew it wasn't really my place to say, hey, it would be better if you stayed at home. I had to wait for her to kind of come to the conclusion.
Do you think that's what society has done, though? Now, like,
Kind of, yeah.
believe me, I commend people that work. I'm a working mom, right?
Yeah.
But do you feel like society has kind of...
Well, it's tough to have a, you know, I know I have dual income, but it's tough to have a single income family these days. It's very, very tough. And not only that, it is kind of the hardest part about me trying to get her to stay home is me worrying about, you know, this is her life. She loves her family, but you have to have something else. Now, of course, she has hobbies and she stays very busy and she has a lot of, and not only that, she really has a great time with our daughter.
With your daughter.
Oh, yeah.
But how do you keep the romance going?
Huh.
You know, like, I mean, like,
This guy.
Oh, I keep it going. Well, you know,
It's never a dull moment.
I promised you you'd be full of surprises whenever you.
Okay. So what are some of the surprises?
That we can talk about on camera.
Yeah, sure. Unedited, unscripted, unfiltered, whatever you guys are comfortable with.
No, like you know, I've always had a way of kind of, well, it's easy for me because I try to think of something that she would like to do, or something that she would like to eat, or something that she would like to hear. So I'm always kind of, and everything's right here on your phone these days. You can just scroll through, and something pops up, and I'm like, I bet you Jasmine would like that. So I find a way to go, like I'll take her to the, you know, the shows at the Strat Center, or I'll find we even do like little staycations, where we just like grab a little hotel hotel and chill out in the pool for a day or something. Get a different environment. Keep things different.
Keeping the romance is communication. I think that's the biggest thing with keeping the romance, because you know you're still involved with each other even though you don't see each other 24/7, and you don't feel a disconnect. So usually when you start to feel like a disconnect, it's like, you know, it could lead to a bunch of different things.
And we've had, you know, at the beginning of the marriage and stuff, every marriage.
Well, it was during COVID. It was a really,
and you still kind of, we were still, you know, trying to feel each other out. Being married is a whole different thing. We didn't even live together until we were married.
Yeah.
Wow. So, you know, and so that's, you know, again, I guess when I started this show and went the old-fashioned way.
We're literally like, we're from the 50s.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But after a while, you start to learn your partner's mannerisms. I can tell when something's bothering her.
Oh, and I can tell when something's bothering him.
And eventually it gets to the point where, you know, we get into bed and I'm like, so is everything okay? You know, and communication, like she said.
Oh, it's a big thing.
Yeah, it's a really big thing.
Yeah.
Just speak your mind if you can, but there's a time and a place. If you're in the kitchen with pots and pans, you're screaming like, you know, I didn't like that thing you said the other day. That's kind of lead to something else. You have to try and make sure the time and the place work when you can kind of put something on the table.
Oh, yeah.
That's a very interesting point.
Definitely take the good with the bad and realize at the end of the day, no matter what, I'm in love with this person, with literally all of my being. So it will work no matter what. Like, that's how I feel about the situation.
But just, like I said, just thinking of you all as much as I can, you know, and
remembering each other throughout the day. And
exactly.
I think that's what keeps our romance alive, is that we're still very much involved with each other, you know, even though we don't see each other 24/7.
Well, for an example, if I could.
Yes.
I do 2-3 tours a day, right? After each tour, I just tell her, just finished the tour, thinking of you.
Yeah.
You know, maybe, you know, hey, guess what happened or something like that. And she'll be like, well, guess what Sophia did? You know, this is that. It's just communication back and forth, you know.
Yeah, or he'll get home and I make him a real nice dinner. And so he knows that, he knows that
way to a man's heart, you know, they say, yes. Oh, okay, are you in love with Hermans yet? I know, very easy to fall in love with. And, you know, they talk about knowing each other well. Look at this, it's so romantic. How well do you guys know each other? Well, we're going to find out in our next segment. You say you'll pass with flying colors.
I'll be all right.
Gems with Them helps showcase December's 4 accepted birthstones.
All with a beautiful blue hue: zircon, tanzanite, turquoise, and blue topaz, which is also the 4th anniversary stone.
Come see all of our beautiful gemstones we have at the Golden Dinosaurs and learn how these fine gems make perfect gifts any time of year for everyone on your list.
For more information, visit our website or come see the largest selection of beautiful colored gemstones
Only at the Golden Diamond Source.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarina Fazan and welcome back to Love in America. We're here with the Hermans. Who knew on the first date, Max did, that he was going to marry his beautiful bride, Jasmine. 3 years, beautiful baby, Sophia. Aww. Now we're going to find out how well you guys really know each other. Max said, piece of cake. All right, so you might not need the paddles for all of these questions, but here is some, though. Do you remember what your significant other wore on the very first date?
Oh, yeah.
That's an easy one for you, though.
That. He wore a black button-up, like a dressy shirt with dress pants. So all in black.
Tell him why I was wearing it, though.
Because he had just left work.
See, that's easy. I was serving tables at Jackson's in Harbor Island, and I told her, I was like, I'm going to be in my work uniform. Is that okay?
Well, I showed up there early, and he didn't want me to sit there too long, so he just shot straight over there.
I actually paid somebody to do my side work so I could get out.
You're kidding. You paid someone so you could meet her? That is
I can't leave that beautiful girl sitting at the bar. Someone's going to scoop her up.
Oh, and, you know, and you even said that you brought your mom.
Oh, yes.
On the date, who was sitting in the car, though, in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
2 glasses of wine before he got there.
Oh, yeah.
I rushed over there smelling like soy sauce, and I was like, this is me.
So what was Jasmine wearing? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
How can you not remember?
Okay, so I do remember that it was definitely a dress. Not like this one, though. A little bit different.
It wasn't a dress.
Okay, so it wasn't a dress. I do remember what I said was it wasn't a dress. I remember that it wasn't a dress. It was a blouse.
It was a blouse.
And it was beautiful.
Oh. Do you remember the color?
I will take that. I'll accept that.
I want to say it was black.
It was white.
That's
Well, but but it's okay because he said he knew within the first 20 minutes that he was in love with you.
And to be fair, my dad is colorblind, so somehow that must have affected things.
Now, did it take you a long time though to pick out the outfit on what you were going to wear?
Honestly, I went that day and I just picked up the blouse. I'm like, I got to get something nice, but I wanted something different, nothing that I had.
Well, I should have smelled like soy sauce. Yeah. So she knew exactly what she was getting into when she married me.
Didn't stop her anyway.
Oh, no.
All right, guys. What is your spouse's best feature? And you can use your paddles on this if you want.
Ooh.
That's easy.
Oh. Easy for Max, so we'll let him go first.
Well,
I have an opinion on that too.
Do you want to guess what I wrote?
Oh, that's cute. Do you want to guess what he wrote?
What is it?
Do you want to guess?
My smile.
Oh, it's like the newlywed game.
It was her smile.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. And you even do like switch. Oh, even does a smile. Okay, so now, all right. So why don't you guess, Max, what Jasmine wrote?
Well, I would have to say it's either my eyes or my dimples.
His dimples.
His dimples. Too cute. Okay. So you guys already answered. When was the moment that you knew your significant other was the one? You knew the first date. But Jasmine, when did you know? Because I know you said that you knew it was special, but when did you know that he was the guy for you?
I would think it was the first date too. Yeah, because I didn't really know what it was, but I knew it was something that was just going to change everything. So it was funny because when I got back in the car, I told my mom, I said, you know what? I think I'm going to marry that guy.
You told your mom?
I did, yeah.
You did.
I told her. And she starts laughing because she's like, I know how you feel about marriage. You're not going to marry that guy. I'm like, no, I really do think I'm going to marry that guy.
Isn't that something? I mean, and how about the guy from what was on the trolley or whatever that said that? How long have you guys been married?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Lift, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's almost like everything was supposed to happen this way.
Like you guys gave up an aura.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you, what celebrity couple are the two of you most like?
I'll let you answer that one because you know the celebrity couple's a little better.
Oof.
Is there one that you?
A lot of the celebrity couples aren't doing too well.
So maybe they don't want to be compared to a celebrity couple right now.
Boy.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one.
Well, we could even you're right. So maybe Hollywood is not exactly where we want to emulate anybody right now. You guys are both certainly a very good-looking couple.
Oh, thank you.
I would say Lucy.
Lucy and Ricky.
But yeah, but he'll be Lucy and I'll be Ricky.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay, talk about old-fashioned. So we're even going way back then.
Oh yeah. I play a mean bongo drum.
No, but you would be Lucy.
I would be Lucy.
You've been switching the gender roles. Oh my gosh, speaking of gender roles, you were sharing something during the commercial of the show. So what happened, speaking of gender? You have a beautiful baby girl, but
during COVID, when we went to get the sex of our baby, they told us it was a boy.
Well, as I said, I wasn't allowed inside there. And we went to a place, and they're like, yeah, you're having a boy. And I was like, hey, great.
So our gender reveal was blue.
We bought blue stuff. The name was
gifts.
Donovan.
Donovan and Sophia.
Yeah.
Sophia and Donovan.
I like, those are old school names. I like those names.
Oh, yeah.
And then we went to a doctor like a couple months later.
It was a follow-up appointment.
And they're like, do you want to know the sex? And I was FaceTiming you. I remember this.
Yeah, because he wasn't allowed.
I was FaceTiming her like this, and I'm looking, and I'm sitting in the car, and they're like, do you want to know the sex? And we're like, no, we know it's a boy. I'm like, it's a boy. I'm having a boy.
He was. Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then they said, oh no, it's a girl. And I said, no, it's not. It's a boy. And she's like, I've been doing this for 20 years. This is a girl. And I look at him on the phone, and he's like, are you kidding me?
I was a little upset. I think I hung up.
And I couldn't stop laughing because I was so nervous.
Well.
But I was so excited because a girl, boys are great, but that was
I'm happy I have a
my
little
little person.
Well, let me tell. I mean, fathers and daughters. I'm sure. Like the minute, like, I'm sure Sophia has you wrapped around her little.
Oh
pinky.
yeah, no, yeah.
She's so cute.
that's
I mean, is she not like the
How do you
cutest?
say no to that?
I know you
Seriously,
can't.
every time, I'd give her ice cream for breakfast. I would, but I know it's
Oh,
not good.
Not good.
Like she's
like
just-
mom wouldn't approve.
Exactly. I get in bigger trouble.
Oh yeah.
So guys, okay, so we've explored your romance and we've asked you some fun questions. And you guys talked a lot about communication, which is very important. But you also talked about romantic things. What's the most romantic thing that Max has done for you, Jasmine?
Oh, honestly, there's just so many.
The picnic.
The picnic, yeah. That's the most recent. And
God, I've done a lot though.
so yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
he's
so
like,
beautiful.
it was my birthday, and he's like, oh, I got something special planned for you. Like, just get dressed up, and we'll head over. And I'm like, what could it be? I'm like, it could be anything with him, especially because he's unpredictable, which is great because it keeps me on my toes.
Yeah.
So I saw like the whole layout when we were like walking up to it, and I'm like, I couldn't believe.
Well, so there's this great company like Insta Picnic or something, and I reached out to them. I go, well, I want to put together something very unique, like a waterfront view, Davis Island, and they go, we can also give you a professional photographer to take pictures. I go, sign me up. I got like champagne. I was like, look, this is kind of, and then we were just gonna have like dinner at home after. I go, this is kind of your gift. And she was like, this is more. I was better than. I mean, I bought her bracelets and jewelry and stuff in the past. She's like, this is better than any jewelry.
Oh yeah,
you've
because
ever bought me."
it's the experience,
Yeah.
it's the memory.
It was definitely something different. I mean, of course, I get you a necklace, you're gonna love it. I know that. But this is something that I knew was gonna just blow you away. And I think you said it was the best.
It was the best birthday.
Yeah, that, you know what, that sounds so romantic. Now, have you guys ever had a major fight, and how do you get over it?
Everybody has major fights.
Oh, yeah.
We've had those times when it was just like, how are we gonna get through this? I'm not sure if we're doing the right thing. Just patience. I mean, really, sometimes also you need to know when you should look away for a little bit. I got a pretty comfortable couch, and and I've gotten used to being on it. So once in a while, if I have to, like, I say, look, I'm just gonna take a little time to go out here. You do your thing, and then eventually we know we love each other. Like after a while, one of us will come to something in our head where we go, like, can I just talk to you about this? Whether even if it's as subtle as just sending a text message of like, this is why I'm mad. Even though I'm in the next room, this is why I'm mad.
We know that.
No exclamation points or anything.
yeah.
Just kind of keep it. This is why I'm upset. I just want to know you that I love you, but this is what's bothering me.
Yeah, and we know that communication is key, and we've been doing really good with it.
Yeah, and honestly, also, when you really do love somebody, you don't want to see them upset. If I upset her, and yes, maybe in a moment I'm like, well, that's dumb to be upset about. Probably, whether it is or it isn't, doesn't matter. She's upset. This is the woman that I love. And I don't want her to be sad or mad or anything like that. So just take a cool head. Step away for a second, take a cool head, and then come back with the knowledge of like, how do I make this better?
And remember that you married this person for a reason, and like ultimately, like I said, I'm in love with him, and no matter what, we'll always find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Love stories, guys, love stories. Do you want to come on the show? Do you want to come on the show? We encourage people to reach out to us to come on the show. Love Stories, personal, business, community. Please send an email to production@redhousestreaming.com, and then please share our shows on our multiple social media websites. And we have a lot of big announcements coming in 2023. I got to tell you guys, right? Didn't that not go so fast?
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Oh my gosh, this.
We'll be back next week.
I certainly hope so. We love the Hermans. Thank you so much for being here. You're watching Love in America. Thank you so much again for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
The Golden Diamond Source has been in business for nearly 4 decades and is one of the largest family-owned jewelry stores in America.
We have the largest selection of white and fancy colored diamonds and gemstones you'll find anywhere.
We also have private areas for VIP viewings.
Only at the Golden Diamond Source.